Hey everybody, we are picking up with the next I am statement that Jesus made in the New Testament in the book of John. And we're actually going to be reading John chapter 10, and we will start in verse 9. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and will find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. You know, many times when speaking to people about my faith or my walk with Jesus, one of the common objections for someone who's not a Christ follower is typically, that's really exclusive. I mean, there's only one way to God. How can that be? And after thinking about that and hearing that many times, and actually having that objection myself, to be honest, for much of my life, about half of my life, I wrestled with that. I came to see that statement, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. Jesus was, in fact, saying here, I am the only way for you to get home, to get to heaven. And on the surface, that can sound a little exclusive, but in fact, if you really think about it, it's sort of the most inclusive statement you could think of, because instead of having to perform, instead of having to try and reach God, instead of trying to have to check a bunch of boxes that I've done this well, I've done that well, having to be born into something. It's not dependent on your socioeconomic status. It's not dependent upon your pedigree. It's not dependent upon your intellect. Your connection with God is quite simply your willingness to put your faith in Jesus, to enter through the gate. And what is faith in a practical sense? I mean, faith is really just trust. It means to say, I trust that you are who you say you are, that you are the I am the gate guy. You are the I am the gate God. And I choose to trust you, Jesus. I choose to believe that you came, that you died, that you rose again, and that you died for me. And that's the only requirement. And I find that incredibly inclusive. I find that not exclusive at all, because anyone can choose to have faith, put their trust in Jesus. The other cool picture here regarding Jesus saying, I am the gate, many scholars believe that what this was referring to was the role of a shepherd during that period of time in the countryside. And a sheep pen was almost a circular like or rectangular structure built out of stones. It went up 4 or 5 feet high, and there was only one entrance to that sheep pen, and there was no kind of gate that swung open or closed. The gate was actually the shepherd. So what would happen in the countryside is the sheep would follow the shepherd's voice. They would be led into the sheep pen, and then the shepherd would either sit or would lay down, and the shepherd would literally be the gate. And that is what Jesus, many believe, was drawing the analogy to here, that he is sitting, he is actively, he is laying down, and he is the only gate, the only way home. And that's the first thing we see here. Whoever enters through me will be saved. So the first thing he's saying is that salvation, getting home, getting back to paradise, is only through belief, through trust in Jesus. How incredibly inclusive, because anyone can can choose that. Then the next thing we read here, it's interesting. He says that he will come in and go out and find pasture. So what that speaks to me is of freedom, a life of freedom, a life of hope. There's the ability. First, there's the way back home. That's salvation. Then there is a life while we're here and in heaven of great freedom. Freedom to come in, freedom to go out, all under the watch of the one who is the gate, all under the watch, care of Jesus. So there's freedom. And then the last verse that we read here, verse 10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. You know, I think many times as Christ followers, or people who are considering following Jesus, they can think that it's very restricting. And, you know, I don't want to do that. I'm going to lose all my fun. But what we don't realize is that when you think about it at the highest, most practical level, I mean, God made us in a paradise, right? We sort of blew it. We had to leave that paradise. And Jesus came back, and he is the gate back into that paradise where we will spend forever in that paradise. And also the most popular message ever preached by the greatest preacher ever, Jesus himself, the Sermon on the Mount. When you really dissect it, there's a word that us Christians like to use all the time called blessed. You've probably heard that. You know, you're blessed. You want a blessing. And we use that word bless a lot. We use the word blessing a lot, but blessing really means to be happy. And Jesus' most popular message, when you dissect it, depending on how you count, it's a series of happy statements. Blessed be the poor in spirit. Blessed be the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed be those who are persecuted. Jesus was saying again and again and again, 9 or 10 times, happy, 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 happy. The plan, born in paradise, end in paradise, and my desire for you now, and when you are back home with me, when you walk through the gate, when you put your trust in me, it's happy all the way. So I don't know where you're at today. I hope that encourages you. You may not be following Jesus. You may have walked away, and you're wondering, you know, am I going to have a home someday? It's real simple. It's not exclusive, it's inclusive. All you need to do is put your faith, which very practically means your trust, in Jesus today. And then you have an eternal home. And the cool thing there is that will be followed with greater levels of freedom, not less. And that will also come with a whole lot of happy forever, which is the most important, and a whole lot of happy right now, like we've never experienced before. So I don't know where you are today. If you're following Jesus and you're full of anxiety or concern about your future, you can rest knowing that because you know the I am of the gate, your final destination is paradise. It's happy land. And maybe you need to look to him. Maybe you need to put some trust in him today regarding your finances. Maybe you need to put some trust in him today regarding your work situation. Maybe you need to put some trust in him today regarding him helping you in the very difficult season that you may find yourself in, or the circumstance you may find yourself in. You know, here's the thing. Sometimes he does, he changes the circumstance, but oftentimes what he does is he changes our view on it. So it's either one of two things. He's either going to change the circumstance when you put your trust in him, or he's going to change your view of it. So I encourage you today with that, the third I am statement, where Jesus said, I am the gate. Will you trust him as your gate today? The faithful shepherd who's seated right at the door, and nothing's going to come in that he doesn't allow. And he is there with you through the night. When you feel like he's not there, he is right there with you. He's the one who gives you the greater freedom, lets you go out to pasture, lets you come back in. And he is the one who gives you life to the full, who provides happy and provides eternal happy and happy now. So hope that encourages you. Love you all. What is God saying to you?